everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Tracy, and today's video is going to be my tips and tricks for buying a car. This video is really directed towards people like myself who went and bought a car kind of without parental help to an extent. I'll get into more of that later. But I bought my car myself. I got a new car end of September 2019. So I learned so much throughout that process, and I want to share what I learned. I want to share my advice with y'all. So please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. And without further ado, let's get into the video. So my first tip for buying a car is to get a used car. And this isn't for everyone. You know, if your parents want to buy you a new car, get your new car. Run with it. Be happy. Don't let anyone make you feel bad for that. This is more for the people who are buying a car by themselves, you know, anywhere from like just graduated high school to your 20s, whatever. If you're buying a new car, you know, it's new to you, so it's new. If you're buying a new car by yourself, I guess, this is more for y'all. So this is what I did. I also bought a used car. You don't always need a brand new car. The next car I get, it'll be years from now, hopefully. It'll more than likely not be a used car, but I figured for the car I bought would be my second car, because the first car that I had was my mom's old car. So the third car that I have will be later on in life, and at that point in my life, I might buy a new car. But for this point in my life, I didn't feel like it was a necessity. You might feel like it's a necessity for you, and that's totally fine. If you feel like that, then you can just ignore this tip. There's nothing wrong with buying a new car. I just didn't feel like it was for me. The price differences, it just wasn't completely necessary. I didn't need a new car. Tip number 2. Y'all might come for me. I don't know. If you do, I really, truly don't care. Tip number 2 is do not buy from CarMax. Just don't do it. It will never be necessary. Their cars are ridiculously expensive. Used cars from there are ridiculously expensive. Like, it's actually unbelievable that people are buying cars from them. I don't think I need to say anything else. Just don't buy from them, okay? All right. Tip number 3 is to take your time looking. Don't walk into one dealership, buy a car, and leave. Take your time. Go to multiple dealerships, take multiple days to find the car that is right for you. You know, with everything that you want in the car and like price point and everything, take your time looking. Don't settle for any car. Know what you want, know what you're looking for, and then keep looking for it. Tip number 4 is to establish a budget beforehand. Know what you can afford before you even step foot on the dealership. Because if you don't even know what you can afford monthly, what kind of down payment you're looking at, all that kind of stuff, you're not really gonna know what car you're looking for. It's not gonna benefit you. Before you even go to a dealership, know what you can afford. Do all that math, know what you can afford monthly before you do that. Step number 5, I know this one is not possible for everyone, but if it is, get a cosigner. It'll make all the difference. For one, your interest rate will be so much lower, it's unbelievable. Because if you're around my age, and you're buying your first car, even if you started a credit card when you were 18, you still don't have any established credit. So your interest rate is gonna be ridiculously high, like 16, 17, 18%. And that's not fun. So if it's possible, you know, if your mom, dad, your older brother or sister, even a friend or a mentor wants to co-sign with you, do it. It'll make all the difference. Step number 6 is to do some research beforehand and decide what you need and want in a car. So for me, one of the things that I knew that I really wanted / needed, it's probably not a need, but I really wanted it, was a backup camera. Because I can reverse without a camera, but like, I don't really want to, so I guess it's a want. But that was one of the things that I knew that I really wanted in a car, is a backup camera. Do some research to decide what things you need and want in a car so that you don't waste your time when you go to a dealership. You know that they can try and show you one car and you're like, no, that car's not gonna work because of this, this, and this. let's move on. You're not gonna waste any time if you know exactly what you want. Tip number 7 is to save money beforehand for a down payment. Because of your age, if you're around my age, you're gonna need a down payment most of the time, not all the time. And then a lot of people just want to do a down payment. It's not always necessary, but usually you have to have really good credit not to have to do a down payment. So basically you're gonna need to do a down payment. So make sure you're saving money beforehand to go towards that down payment. And if you need tips for saving money, go check out my last video. I'll link it wherever it is. I don't know, somewhere up here. I'll link it. I gave a lot of good tips into saving money, and that'll definitely help you with saving money for that down payment. Tip number 8, so important. Pay attention to your interest rate. Once you settle on what kind of car you want, like you picked out your car, you're gonna move on to the finance side of it. You know, you're gonna be talking to some of the finance people, I don't know what they're actually called. And then it's gonna get into the more like technical side of everything. So one of those things that you're gonna be dealing with is your interest rate. Pay attention to your interest rate. If you have a high interest rate, which is what I was talking about earlier, which is why you might need a cosigner, it's gonna add on a lot more to the total of how much the car is than you think. So pay attention to that interest rate. Don't sign for a car with an incredibly high interest rate. Just pay attention to that, you know? Tip number 9 is to refinance the car. So typically you need to wait like about 6 months to refinance the car, because all that really means is that the bank now sees that they can trust you to pay your monthly payment every month. So they feel more okay with giving you a lower interest rate. They give you a high interest rate because of your age and because you don't have much credit. And so once they see that you can be trustworthy, you can make your monthly payments without any issue, they'll give you a lower interest rate because they trust you a little bit more. So definitely take advantage of that. Once you hit that like 6-month threshold, refinance your car. Tip number 10 is to look into the gas mileage on the car. If you're buying a car that has gas that's gonna cost a lot of money, you're wasting a lot of money. I mean, if that's your dream car and you really want it, but it has high gas mileage and that doesn't matter to you that much, then get the car. It's all good. But if you're just looking for, you know, an economical car, or you just want, you know, a new car that's gonna run, then definitely look into the gas mileage. It can save you a lot of money. My first car, which was my mom's old car, I think I already said that, it cost $45 to $50 to fill up my gas tank. And my new car, it only cost $30. And I am so happy and so grateful for that. And actually, I wasn't even looking into the gas mileage on this car. That's just something I discovered like after I bought the car. So it was a nice surprise, but it would have been better if I had looked into it and known that it's gonna have good gas mileage. But yeah, it's definitely important. It has made a lot of difference. It's not as painful filling up my gas tank. But yeah, definitely look into the gas mileage on the car that you're trying to buy. Tip number 11 is to, and this is really only if you're buying a used car, is to look into the Carfax with the car that you're trying to buy. You need to find out like what maintenance has been done on the car, if the car has been in an accident, so you can, you know, check that part of the car and make sure that that everything got fixed. Just, you want to know everything you can about the car that you're buying when it's not brand new. When it's brand new, there's nothing, you know, you really need to know. Maybe there is stuff, I don't know, I haven't bought a brand new car. That information is not gonna be found in this video. But I do know that when you're buying a used car, you need to know that information. For example, when I was looking for a car, I almost bought, I think it was like a 2016 or 17 Kia Sorento. And it's so funny because me and my mom, we knew there was something wrong with this car because we were looking at all the pictures online. It looked cool and whatever. It looked good, you know, no damage or whatever. But they were only taking pictures of the left side of the car. And we were like, oh, what's wrong with the right side of the car? You know, like you don't really do that. So we asked for the Carfax and we found out that the car was in an accident. It was like a side swipe to the right side of the car. So we went to see the car anyway because there's other cars on that same lot that we wanted to see. So we just wanted to go check out this car and just see what was wrong with it. And they did not fix any of the damage to the car. They were gonna sell it as is. And obviously when you're buying the car, you're gonna see the damage. Like you're choosing to buy the car, how that is. Like even though online they were misleading you a little bit, when you actually go to buy the car, you're gonna see all that damage on the right side. You can't miss it. You can't miss it. It was literally all the way down the right side of the car. You couldn't open the door all the way. Like you can't miss it. But online it is a little bit misleading. But yeah, needless to say, I did not end up buying that car. None of the technology on the right side of the car worked anymore. Like you couldn't move the mirrors, you couldn't roll the window up or down, anything like that. So I didn't buy that car. But because we asked for the Carfax, we knew that ahead of time, that the car was in an accident, and we knew not to buy the car. Tip number 12. Oh my gosh, I cannot stress this enough. This fact right here recently literally saved my life. Literally. Always, always, always get a warranty on your car. I cannot stress this enough. I don't know what the heck happened to my car, but it was Christmas Eve when my car broke down. And we didn't know what it was. We thought it might have been the starter. We thought it might have been the alternator, a couple other things, whatever. But we got the car towed. We took it to the dealership and we found out I needed a whole new engine. I don't know why. I don't know what went wrong. I had oil in my car, so don't come at me. But yeah, I needed a whole new engine. And if you know anything at all about cars, a whole new engine is not $100 or $200. It's a couple $1,000s, okay? If I didn't have my warranty, I would just not have a car right now. And because of my warranty, I did not have to pay for the new engine whatsoever. So I am so incredibly grateful for that, because I literally would not have a car right now. I do not have a couple $1,000s to pay for a new engine. I just don't. Tip number 13. This is more for when you choose what car you want already, and you're just waiting to go pick it up. Make sure they do all their routine maintenance on the car. You know, they have to put engine coolant, windshield wiper fluid, you know, they have to do the brake checks, they have to add engine oil and everything. Make sure they do all those things to the car, because chances are, since you just bought the car, you're not gonna really check it for the first few months. But if they don't add oil to the car before you buy it, there's not gonna be any oil in your car for the first however months before you decide to, you know, do your maintenance on the car. So make sure that that stuff is done beforehand. Tip number 14 kind of goes along with that, is to make sure that you do your maintenance on the car. So making sure that you get an oil change every, 3,000 to 6,000 miles. Making sure that whenever your check engine light comes on, you're taking it in to see what's wrong with the car. Don't ignore it. And tip number 15 is my last tip, and it is to make sure that you have a parent or older sibling or somebody present with you when you're buying a car that has done it before. That's the key part. It doesn't have to be a parent, it doesn't have to be a sibling, but somebody that's bought a car before that has that knowledge and knows the right questions to ask to make sure that, you know, everything is being done. Make sure that you have someone with you that has done it before, so that, you know, you don't have to feel like a fish out of water, you know, that you don't have to feel like you're in over your head, because you have someone with you that has done it before and they know what they're doing. All right, guys, so that is actually all I have for y'all today. That was my 15 tips on buying a car. Now, of course, not all of those tips is going to apply to every person, but definitely pick and choose the tips that you think would apply to you the most. So comment down below any video ideas you guys want to see from me. I definitely have some more ideas coming up, but it's always good to know what you guys want from me. So if this video helped you in any way, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Thank y'all so much for watching. Bye.